North ducked the club because he was hoping his partner would have the king for his opening bit of one club and could then carry on with diamonds. Of course, North had shown 5 hearts with his bid at the 2 level, so South knew there was no more tricks to come in hearts. Now though, looks to Clara's going to make it, so what were they meant to do differently? Was South meant to give a diamond ruff instead of playing the king? Of course they could have taken the contract straight down if North had gone in with the ace of clubs following his good diamond lead. Then they'd had 3 aces and 2 diamonds to take. Yes, looks like that king of diamonds wasn't the best shot. David Edwin just pointing out ace and another trump. Just would have left de Clara with too many cards to ruff. Or, I mean, he could just have given a diamond ruff and then West would have 3 losing cards in his hand. King X of clubs and a diamond. Only 2 trumps to ruff and within the dummy. Assume 15 points is enough to go to game, facing their probable 10 to 12 no trump. Clara has 5 diamonds, 2 spades, and the ace of hearts. 8 tricks, so he may have to guess right on a club lead, assuming he spits 3 no trumps now. Go up with the king, claim 9 tricks, play low, and the defenders take the first 5. The only tiny clue he may have is that South did not double the Stayman bid, but he would need a pretty good suit to do that. If he's got ace-queen, of course, then the situation's hopeless for Declarer. So I don't think that does give any extra information. It seems to be a completely open guess which card you play from dummy, and quite a lot of imps at stake. Remember that each board is cross-imped with every other table. So if for example, some pairs are going to open 1 no trump on the east cards and not get a lead through the king. They go 1 no trump, 3 no trumps if west passes. And then, well, don't know what might happen now. A club lead would give them the 9th trick. They've still only got 8 tricks if they get a passive lead, but they've got a chance of finessing spades into the safe hand, that sort of thing. So we can expect that quite a lot of pairs are going to make 3 no trumps on this board. Maybe more than will go down if they're playing it from the east hand. Right, he's misguessed. Traditional to play back the 4th card. If South had started with Queen 8-3, playing standard carding, he would lead the 8 back. Now South unblocks the 8 to make sure that he doesn't win the next round of the suit. That was well done. Pretty obvious at this level, but you can imagine some club pairs might forget to do that. So going down in 3 no trumps may cost them, I don't know, something like 150 imps. "55 pairs playing, there's play on 27 tables, so there are 26 comparisons. They've got a pretty good website that puts up all the hand results, calling it something like, I don't know, Barorama, I think they're calling it, Barometer Rama. Someone will give the link to that soon if we're lucky. and then we can see all the results pouring in as we watch the hands. Hooray! Someone's just given me the link. Right, I've just looked at that link myself. I'm bringing it up under Firefox because I was having some problems on Internet Explorer earlier. It's a really good site that I recommend you all to have a look at if you've got room for it on your screen. Not much use if you're watching it on some smartphone held under your desk at the office, hoping that the manager's not coming in. So going off in 3-no trumps is costing them 201 imps. I can see that from the Barorama screen. It's very rarely gone down. In fact, whenever 3-no trumps was played by East, it always made. The pairs that have gone down are those that have arranged to play no trumps, unluckily, from the West hand. Of course, we're not waiting for them to play anymore here. Hand finished ages ago. It's some minor flaw of the wonderful BBO display that it doesn't tell you when the play's over. You just have to look at my results and see that opposite board 12 on my table, the 50 is already in there. So if you happen to come in now and think, why on earth is declarer wondering for so long what to throw from the dummy, mistake that I've made in the past, it's understandable because there's nothing on the screen to tell you the play's over. Yeah, very interesting, that 3-no trumps. Everyone who played from the West hand misguessed the clubs. Seemed to me it was a 50-50 guess. No, I'm told now one declarer got it right. But I mean, 5 or 6 of them did play the same as declarer at this table. A little bit surprising. Seems like a 50-50 guess to me. Right, the famous Helgamo Helnas, who were the top-selling pair in the auction, Some poor soul paid 35,000 for them. Still, I suppose it all depends on the final, so it doesn't matter that they're a bit down the list in the qualifying round as long as they get through. Don't know what carry forward, if any, goes into the final. East has a sort of classic hand for a 4-card overcall. Got solid opening bid values and length in the suit bid on his right. Might seem a bit strange, but that tends to suggest that your partner may be short in that suit and therefore may have some spade support. $15 opposite 8. That is a bit of a flyer, 2-no trumps. Gosh, it's only just had a single raise. I wouldn't bid 2-no trumps. Still, there we go. What do I know? It's got 4 tricks outside the diamond suit. If he can make 5 diamond tricks, the game will be there, and that will be an excellent board for them. He's got the club entry and a spade entry to take finesses. Right, this is a tricky moment for Helgamo, because if he plays a club back, declarer can play a diamond to the queen, go back to the spade and lead the 9 of diamonds. So on a club back he's going to make 5 diamond tricks. Obviously a diamond is no good. That's pretty difficult, isn't it now? He's thinking about it. He hasn't made the mistake of playing a club straight away. That really is pretty difficult. In effect, he's not got to allow declarer that ace of clubs entry to play to get 2 leads towards his diamonds. Well, if Helgamo gets this one right, I'll be ready to applaud him. But you can see that Bessis would have done better to win the second club, to make sure he had 2 entries to dummy, then play a diamond to the queen, the 10 comes, go back to the spade, pick up the diamond suit. So he's given Helgamo the chance to rob him of that club entry and beat the game. But it's a very difficult chance, so this is a really good hand, isn't it? Very interesting. It was too difficult, yes. That's right. He saw that he shouldn't play a club, but played a diamond. So now declarer makes it as long as he goes in with the queen or jack. Can't afford to play low because he does need 5 diamond tricks. Well, anyone who's lucky enough to have one of the few surviving bridge columns in the world would be very happy to snaffle this one and put it in their column. because it's a good hand with plenty to say. First of all, to point out that 2 no trumps was, well, I was going to say a bit wild, but I mean it's not that much of an overbid, I suppose. But I mean he is bare in 2 suits, and he's only had a single raise. I don't think he should have. I think he should have passed 2 spades. So he's rather fortunate in a way with what the dummy's got. He's got an ace to guard the club suit, 9-8-1 of diamonds, and the king of spades. I suppose there's not too much to expect when you've been raised. But I don't think 2 no trumps was a good bid. Someone is telling me they've got the video picture up, and that makes Helgamer and Helness the other way round. Well, I'm sure he knows what he's talking about, but anyway, it's too difficult for me to keep on switching names and having all the kibitzers thinking I've gone mad anyway. See, the advantage of running this to the 9, if Helgamo has king 10, is that it will give him an extra entry to dummy. Oh wow, he did it. East-West are currently 6 places off the qualification spot, and Kibitzer suggests to me he may have bid 2 no trumps because he knows he needs to gain some imps. Well, I don't go with that. I wouldn't make a bad bid when you've got a 10 board set and you're only 6 places off. You can get a huge swing just on 1 board just by sitting there. Right, so now Declarer thinks that he just needs a 3-3 spade break. They're not 3-3, so after a big roller coaster ride, justice was done. I mean, the game was a pretty good one, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Bessis misplayed it by not taking the ace of clubs earlier. A lot of European pairs, if they're playing the strong no trump, they open 1 club on all the 12 to 14 hands, and it's becoming increasingly popular to play transfer bids facing that sort of 1 club. They're not using transfers, and it's part of the French method to rebid 1 heart rather than 1 no trump when you're balanced and have got a 4-card major. So they stop in 2 diamonds, and it's match points. So Helgamo's in there with a double, successfully locating their wonderful 3-3 spade fit. This is where we want to have the video screen up and see his expression when dummy goes down. Expect some players would bid 2 spades. I mean, clubs haven't really been bid by West, but he might have done. Might have had club length. Cards lie very well for declarer, maybe in a joke trump suit, but everything else is good. West ducks so that declarer doesn't have an easy entry back with the 3rd round of trumps. So Helgamo uses the entry straight away, picks up the king, and now we can go back to trumps. Got plenty in the red suits to guard it there. How amazing. Probably 140 would be a really good match point score, wouldn't it? Not concerned with match points here, just cross-imping, so any sort of part score hand is going to have relatively small pickings. 2 diamonds, how would that have done? They'd have lost 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, ace of spades, maybe a heart and a spade. Well, not much in it, then they'd have gone down. If cards lie well for one side, they lay badly for the other. Soon we'll have the pleasure of looking at the results for this board, see how many other pairs played in 2 spades. Hanson and Driver playing against Zia and Builder. They attempted 3 no trumps on the West cards. Went 5 off for minus 250. No, I had the pair names wrong for that result. Zia and Builder in fact doubled 4 diamonds on this board and took 500 on the north-south cards. Well, to get to 3 no trumps, it must go something like 1 no trump, 3 diamonds, 3 no trumps. So maybe not quite understanding how strong 3 diamonds is. Who knows how they got there. Or maybe East opened 3 diamonds and West bid 3 no trumps. West had stoppers in all the suits and was hoping for Ace, King, Jack to 7. Trick on a club lead and the Ace of Hearts and 7 diamonds, so might have made it. On that Barorama link, this is showed as board 84. And this one now 85. So new pairs now. Sure, diamonds will be playing a strong no trump. No, maybe a strong club system. Say he had opened 1 no trump, then East would look for a heart fit and then just bid 3 no trumps, not going to worry about spades being bare or anything. Hasn't got enough points to think of playing in 5 diamonds. Has to go for the 9 trick game. You have to remember when you've got a singleton, that's the most likely place for your partner to have both length and points. Well, if they're playing a straightforward system, it'll go 2 no trumps, 3 hearts, 3 no trumps, something like that. Unless they're playing transfers on the second round, in which case East will bid 3 diamonds to show his hearts. Two diamonds here seems to be a positive to the strong club, showing 8 points upwards and at least 5 diamonds. Now he's shown 4 hearts, and with a minimum point count diamond, I'm sure will bid 3 no trumps. I mean, he knows they have got a 5-3 diamond fit, so on a better hand. See, 2 no trumps probably doesn't limit his hand, because 1 club 2 diamonds is forcing to game. So he shouldn't go to 4 diamonds on a flat hand like that, I wouldn't have thought, even though he's got 3 aces and a useful queen in the second suit. But he seems to be thinking about it. I suppose he may be thinking about bidding 3 spades to show that he's got that suit well covered and is a bit worried about the clubs, and then his partner can bid 3 no trumps. No, very wise, keeps it simple. So it's hard to imagine many pairs around the whatever they're in. What are they in, a casino, a hotel? Anyway, on the 27 tables, they're nearly all going to be in 3 no trumps on most values. Pretty dull hand to watch because imagine that making the game is easy. Over tricks are totally irrelevant with Cavendish scoring. Yeah, North does duck. He knows that West is going to almost certainly have the ace of diamonds, and it'll be easier for him to unravel the 4 diamond tricks if the king is taken. So de Clara was nowhere near having the entries to go over the dummy and take another finesse. Just clears the suit. De Clara has 10 top tricks, so the count is rectified for a possible squeeze. That would only work if South had the king X of clubs and the spade queen, which isn't the case. Well, there you go, board 15. So far, every single pair is in 3 no trumps. One pair, amazing. They lost 25 imps because they only made 9 tricks, whereas everyone else is making 10 tricks. So they lost 1 imp against 25 other tables of the 27. Unusual. Now, one thing we know for sure, the winner by a mile in the world's most boring contract competition is, yes, one no trump. Let's see if we can find anything the least bit interesting in this one. See that clubs is Declarer's longest suit. Got 8 cards there, only 6 in diamonds. But he's got 1 spade trick in the bag. So 3 hearts and 3 diamonds will give him 7. If he played on clubs, say North was to try playing the 4 and Declarer then ran the 9 to the Jack, might not work out that well. So he obviously just goes for the diamonds. Yeah, Joey Silver's mentioning that he's been a little bit inconsistent with 2/16 counts, but he's vulnerable this time, so maybe they changed their ranges by a point according to vulnerability. Kibitzer very wittily tells me that this particular declarer nearly always goes for the diamonds. As for his partner's name, Platnik, I sort of half imagine that I've seen that as a make of playing cards. I don't know if that's something that my brain has conjured up from the centre of my head somewhere, or if that's true. There's certainly some sort of playing cards with a name a bit like that. So North claims the remainder, and at least it was fairly quick, which is normally all I ask for a one no trump contract. If there are 2 or 3 commentators, I normally prefer to look out of the window, study the roof opposite, see if there are any birds on it, any moss. Right, so the make of playing cards is Piatnik, not Platnik. So my brain is not yet letting me down, just 1 letter difference. Thanks to the Kibitzers who reassured me on that point. Every table bar one played this deal in 1 no trump. Someone tried 3 no trumps, taking -1 vulnerable. That cost them 126 imps. In fact, the only pair to try 3 no trumps were facing, probably thought that the pair that they were facing couldn't defend properly, Helness and Helgamo, but they could. So the Norwegians still think of them as that. They were the ones to benefit by the 126 imps. So we've watched 3 rounds of 2 boards, 2 more rounds to go. Mahmood and Builder, who were third equal in the auction, they pulled up to 21st place with 22 pairs to qualify. So they'll hope to get a bit more securely into the qualifying zone. Remember, we've got 4 boards left of this set and then a whole set of 10 boards to follow. With game values, it's normal to respond a spade to a heart. If you had only 7 or 8 points in that shape, you'd bid 2 hearts instead. Fourth suit forcing, and now North may bid 2 spades. He's only got a doubleton, but if he'd chosen to rebid, there's an undo coming. Yeah, so he may bid 2 spades now, because if he'd chosen to rebid 2 clubs with 3 card spades, he would jump to 3 spades to show the 5-4-3-1 shape. I think 2 spades is better than 2 hearts because he's already shown 5 hearts. Right, well, raising the 4th suit. Some people like to play that shows a 5-4-4 shape. I don't like that at all, because you can normally bid no trumps if you've got diamonds. The other meaning is that you've got no more distribution to show. So South often has 5 spades to bid 2 diamonds. They've ended up in a pretty obvious spot anyway. Just chosen a different route. Got two diamond losers and possible finesses in the black suits. If he can set up the queen of diamonds early on, then if the spade finesse loses, he'll have 3 discards for the clubs. Won't need to take the club finesse. Pretty depressing dummy for Gromov to stare at. He knows from his partner's count signal that he's got another diamond trick to take. Doesn't look like the defenders are going to make anything in trumps, and both his kings lie under the black aces in dummy. So probably won't think for too long. See, but if Gromov just looks at his own hand and the dummies, there are only 12 points missing between Declarer, who opened the bidding, and his partner. So he can't really expect his partner to have more than a jack. Six pairs have played this already, mainly making +1, occasionally +2. As if the diamond isn't cashed, Declarer has a chance of getting rid of his 9 of diamonds. So away goes the diamonds, and with clubs being 3-3 and the king on side, he's going to make 2 over tricks. So far 2 4 aces on the card and 1 490. They've picked up 1 from 14 tables so far. So just a few imps drifting over. Nothing compared to the hundreds that sometimes change hands on the borderline games, unlucky games, borderline slams, unlucky slams. That's where the big impage occurs. Non-vulnerable in the 3rd seat. How do the textbooks describe that? With the chapter heading, Anything Goes. West does, on this occasion, hold anything, so he's opened a heart. Sure, he plays 5-card majors, but in the third seat, when you're not going to rebid, you're entitled to open a lead-directing chunky 4-card major. 2 diamonds will show, no doubt, a strongish raise to 2 hearts. Be a transfer bid with 2 hearts, a weaker raise. Now, that double tends to deny 4 spades because, I mean, it is a responsive double, but if you had 4 spades, you'd bid 2 spades instead. You tend to assume that your partner's got 4 in the other major. And who is a lucky boy? The answer is South, because he'd have been a bit stuck if his partner had bid clubs. We can see if West had passed, which a lot of players will, then North-South would play in 1-no trump. Well, 1-no trump is pretty comfortable. Right, I'm going to make an over trick or 2 in diamonds. Difficult for declarer to place the points here when he knows there's been a 4-card opening because 2 diamonds showed 3 cards support. So still doesn't mean that West wouldn't have the Queen of Spades. Can rough the club loser, and it's just a matter of 2 over tricks or 1 according to who he plays for the Queen of Spades. May well play West for it. No, crossed to the ace of clubs and took it the other way. Well done. 150 he makes. A couple of other pairs found the diamond fit and only made 130, but it's all small fry. So we've got only 2 boards left in this session, and then after a short interval we'll have the final qualifying session.
Hello everyone, hello again David. I'm back.
Well, you didn't miss anything incredibly spectacular. In fact, there was one board where I think the whole field made 430 except one pair who made 400 and had to give away about 25 imps.
Now, Hansen was the man, by the way, who found the defense to 6 hearts. You remember earlier today? He was the man in the south seat who actually let the ace of spades and switched to a club, hence breaking up the squeeze in 6 hearts. Well done, sir. Well done.
Yes, was there any reason to play for the squeeze rather than the finesse on the evidence? Did people play the squeeze at other tables?
Well, I hadn't actually checked, but South was the one who overcalled, wasn't he? And he didn't have King, Queen, Jack of spades. I mean, North did announce King, Queen, Jack of spades at trig 1 when he followed with the King, Ace of spades, King. So South was a hot favorite to have the King of diamonds for his overcall.
Right, so that would be a good hand to write up. And we had another hand with absolutely plenty of interest early on. I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, it was really good actually. B6 misplayed 3-no trumps really, but Helgamo Hellness, we weren't quite sure which of them was North, had a very difficult chance to break it up and misguessed, switching to a diamond where he'd opened a diamond, declared ace queen jack to 5 over him with 9-8-1 in the dummy, short of entries because he'd held off the ace of clubs twice, and he guessed to run it to the 9 and lost a single 10, so went down anyway. But it was very, very interesting exchange. B6 had overbid his hands unbelievably, it seemed to me. But anyway, they got to 3-no trumps, which was quite a good contract and might have been made. He just needed to win the second round of clubs in dummy with the ace. Then he'd have had 2 entries to finesse the diamonds with.
I'm told that this was board 83. Right? This is board 88, right? Could it be 83?
Yes. Yes, that's right. He was declarer was east, so that would be board 83. So that's one well worth looking at. It was pretty interesting in the bidding from a wild point of view. He'd overcalled a 4-card spade suit and 15 points, I think. And his partner just raised a 2 spades, and he bid 2-no trumps. Yeah, so his partner went on with an ace, a king, and a jack to 3, and in fact, it was a good place to be, because the cards fit. His partner had the ace of clubs opposite his low doubleton, and the jack opposite his queen doubleton, so he was pretty lucky with the dummy he found.
Yeah, I'm told that I haven't looked, but he was also, if he takes the diamond finesse with the jack, since the 9 of hearts was dropping. Is that right? I haven't looked, but it's probably right.
Well, the single 10 was dropping if he put the queen in, but because he had not taken the ace of clubs on the first 2 rounds, he only had the king of spades as an entry to dummy. So that made it more attractive to run it to the 9. I mean, he'd only just bid no trumps with his ace, queen, jack to 5 diamonds over the diamond bid, so didn't have to have anything that major. Hellness could easily have had king 10.
Yeah. Now Hurd had to bid 4 spades here. I mean, 3 spades could be a weaker hand than he has. And he has 4 card support. So he has to bid 4 spades vulnerable here. It may not turn out so well, of course, because North can lead a heart to partner's ace, and then a diamond comes through. Then we have three defensive tricks, and they must come to at least one trump trick.
Well, Mr. Jib would not lose a trump trick.
No, of course not. He would cast the ace, dropping the singleton king, then cross to dummy, and finesse against the jack. Obviously. That is so...
How many kibitzers pointed out to you that the contract was cold? Perhaps we should coin a new term, jibitzers.
But maybe now you should play a spade to the ace, because you want to discard a diamond from the dummy. Not out of the question, is it? You see, you don't want this to lose to the jack or the king, in case South has the jack of hearts. So I think, in isolation, the best must be go up with the ace of spades to play a third club, high club, to get rid of a diamond from the dummy.
Yeah, but it's not in isolation because he's got a weak jump over call over him, so South is favourite to hold the king of spades, he may think.
Yes, but if he has it, he will still have it later, won't he? Then he can cross later and then play to the queen 10, towards the queen 10. Now he's going down if Zimmerman finds the hard switch.
Well, people may say, well, it's difficult heart switch to find, but in situations like this, you've got to think, how are we going to make four tricks? Yes, exactly, well done. Going to make four tricks by going over to the ace of hearts and getting a diamond through. Even if partner's got the king of diamonds, then that's only two diamond tricks your way. So, the jack of hearts switch was indicated, although, of course, everyone who finds it is playing very good bridge.
You know what? I still think spade to the ace is right. Now say you get low cards from everyone. You take your pitch on the jack of clubs. Eventually you get to the dummy with a heart, and then you lead towards your queen 10 to 4. Isn't that the best play in spades? Definitely playing imps, I think it's superior. Not because I can see the singleton king. Doesn't matter. Say North has a small singleton. You'll still make it, because then South has king jack X left, right? King jack. Sorry, yeah. King jack. Yeah.
Well, Declarer would still have a diamond and a club which he needed to ruff, wouldn't he? So what happens if South goes in with the king of trumps and plays another trump?
But dummy had 4 trumps. That won't hurt.
Yes, but if you play the ace, take a discard, then what?
Then you may need the jack of hearts to drop to get rid of your last club. That's right. If the ace of hearts is not on side, that's right.
Well, you know the ace of hearts isn't onside. I mean, I don't think he misplayed it. He's just unlucky to find the king of spades wrong.
Well, I didn't say misplay. I just don't think it was the best play, the best line.
Well, because North has got the Jack X of hearts, but he doesn't have. But he's also got the king of spades. I mean, don't see why that's a better chance. Right, this is the weak jump shift, which suggests to us that we're watching Americans, and we are.
I play them myself, and I'm definitely not American.
But would you have definitely bid it on a hand that strong?
No, it's too strong for me. It's an invitational hand for me, so I would bid one spade followed by two spades to show an invitational hand with 6 or 7 spades.
I think it's much too strong, isn't it? Jack X of hearts is in partner's suit. That's an advantage. You've got an ace and queen 10, 9 to 7. Gosh.
So that's one more set, David. Do you remember when it is? Is it 15 minutes past the hour, or let me check.
Well, anyway, this is going to be an expensive board, isn't it? Because a lot of players are going to bid game on these values.
Half past the hour, actually. So in about 25 minutes, the final segment of the qualifying, the last 10 boards.